The human figure across the way with the dark green hair gives a deep bow, and then vanishes from the field.
That wasn't so bad.
The dog is going, turns around and faces this direction and starts barking.
Fuck.
Good call.
Good boy.
You just hear, and then suddenly, there's suddenly a torrent of wind blowing within the area as something is disturbing the air quite heavily. All right, Vex, you're up.
So can I, like, come around that corner and see her?
You can see within the fog, as difficult as it is, winged form swirling in there.
Okay, I'm gonna attack her, and I'm gonna try to do bramble shot.
Okay.
So 43 points of damage.
You hear a. And you watch as some of the fog kind of pillows out. You can still kind of vaguely make out the form. As it's kind of. That ends your turn. Percy, you're up.
And I'm just gonna try and take a shot and see what happens.
All right.
I'm also gonna shove all of 6 of my charges through that shot as well.
Okay then. Okay.
23 points of normal damage, 6 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And 25 points of lightning damage.
All right. As you finish your turn, you watch as the wind, the fog shifts, and you hear, and a voice retorts out, "Not as down and not as vulnerable as you think."
Oh shit.
You watch the figure back away into the fog ever so slightly, going.
Oh, she's casting something.
You feel this kind of shaking within the room as the ceilings of the cavern begin to shift and form into what appear to be small rifts.
What's all that?
Oh no!
You hear the sound of rocketing stone and flame being pulled from a realm or plane beyond
She's
the
doing
material.
A meteor swarm. She's doing a meteor swarm.
Scanlan, 118 points of damage.
I'm immune to meteors.
59 points of damage.
Okay.
Scarrick, you suffer 118 points of damage.
Oh, yes, I do.
22.
Oh, you have evasion?
22, you suffer 59 points of damage. Grog, you take 118 points of damage.
Got it.
I'm going to activate. I'm going to use my reaction to activate Cabal's Ruin. I'm going to absorb the spell.
As you absorb the spell, the cloak flares out and actually grows an additional 6 inches in length. The inside begins to sparkle with electrical energy as it pulls one of the meteors into the cloak itself. It kind of arcs inward and vanishes into the side. It bursts behind you and the damage is taken, but the cloak now is shimmering with a very vibrant, continuous spark of arcane energy. Raishan is going to use 2 legendary actions.
Jesus.
He's going to go ahead and cast Disintegrate at Pike. As the beam hits her, you watch her flesh begin to turn to dust as the fingers begin to disperse, as a burst of flame from the armor flares outward, bringing her back to her feet.
Okay.
Okay. She's not dust.
She's not dust. That brings us to Grog, you're up.
Can I throw the dwarven thrower?
Yes, you can.
Okay. 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage. At the end of your turn, Grog, just gonna use your other 2 legendary actions here to go ahead and cast Cone of Cold.
13.
13, you take 42 points of cold damage. Vex?
16.
16, you take 42 points of cold damage. Vex, you take 42 points of cold damage. Grog takes 42 points of cold damage. Pike is unconscious. Who else is unconscious?
I am unconscious.
Why won't you all just stay down and die with dignity?
We don't do anything with dignity.
Scanlan's lifeless corpse has a pool of urine around it.
All right, Percy, you're up.
I'm going to actually pull out the Animus box and take a few shots in there and see what
Disadvantage
happens.
on all these strikes, because she is invisible.
Shot number 1. Natural 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 6 points of psychic damage, 18 points of normal damage, 14 points of lightning damage. Now for my second shot. Ooh, that's nice. That's 17 points of normal damage.
Alrighty.
2 points of psychic damage, 10 points of lightning damage.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Nice.
All right, then it's your turn, Percy.
Yeah.
Scanlan, as you're on the ground, kind of getting your bearings back to consciousness, you watch as your head is across the ground, the rocks kind of... and something seems to hit the ground right next to you. Raishan's going to do a full round of just physical attacks on you. So the first hit, which is its bite, hits you for 13 plus 8.
I mean, I'm unconscious now.
Do you have
You're
any
unconscious.
reactions?
And the last final claw attack, it's a crit. So you lose 2 death saving throws. And then the wind kicks up as something seems to shift through the air. That ends Raishan's turn. Scanlan, death saving throw.
3.
And with that,
Hold on. That's not.
the breath escapes Scanlan's lungs, the smile across his face as life leaves his form.
This time I died with a bad joke and piss all over me.
All right, Keyleth, you're up.
All right, I am going to cast my 1 8th level spell, and I'm going to attempt to feeble mind her.
As you reach out, you watch as the tendrils of nature's energy begin to spill out of the cracks in the vicinity.
And I just say, Melora, come on, girl. Come on, Melora.
You watch as Raishan kind of chuckles. One of the tendrils flashes out and wraps around the throat. And as they wrap and begin to strengthen around the neck, pouring into the cracks of the flesh where the disease currently holds her throat, her brow begins to sink, the jaw hangs open, and slobber begins to drip from her lower jaw. As Raishan, as opposed to speaking, now gets to a guttural. That means the top Vax, you're up.
I'm unloading dagger.
Go for
it. At advantage on all of it, 53 is the first attack.
53 points of damage.
Come on. Come on.
And then the second attack is 8.
It is now
No, I can
Raishan's
reload.
turn. Raishan is going to unleash upon you, Percy, who has avoided the meteor swarm, who has shot her in the face, and right now in her feral state is just focused on what's closest
Yeah, I
and
know.
angry at her. As the bite knocks to the ground, the claw slams down onto your torso and just tears out the side of your body. Your entrails kind of
You're up,
scatter
Laura.
across the stone floor, and your breath just escapes out. It's going to end Raishan's turn. Grog, you're up.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to throw him. 23 for the first one.
23 damage already.
23. 23 for the second one. 26 for the third one.
That ends Grog's turn. Carrick, you're up.
Oh, please just let me. All I want to do is stick at least one on this goddamn dragon. So there is 26.
26 hits.
There's 10, 18, 28.
28 points of damage?
28.
Whack.
At a max hit points of 520, how do you want to do this? Literally had 7 hit points left. As the hammer arcs downward, slams into the snout of Raishan just as the head turns up. The eyes that were once reptilian and intelligent are now just filled with bloodshot rage and feral intensity. The jaw is attempting to snap up and catch the blade. However, you're too fast. Your old adventuring reflex kicking in. As the glowing hammer head comes down onto the snout, the divine energy blasts forward, and you watch as the dragon's face explodes, inverting inward, the front of the skull being blown backward, and you guys watch as this flash of light fills the entirety of this necrotic space. This one plume of radiant smoke kind of, and left behind you see Carrick standing there holding the rod, the actual head of the hammer now dismissed as part of the burst of radiant energy, and there the smoking ruin of the throat, headless, of Raishan, the deceased deceiver, collapsing to the ground unmoving.